Imagine this. You finish an important meeting at work, but all you can think about is whether your child ate lunch properly. Then you reach back home, and while you're helping with homework or putting your child to bed, your mind drifts back to the email you forgot to send. No matter where you are, it feels like a part of you should be somewhere else. If you've ever felt this way, you are not alone. People often talk about work life balance as if it's simply a matter of better time management. Plan your day, wake up earlier, prioritize your task, and everything will magically fall into place. But for many mothers, the struggle isn't about managing time, it's about managing emotions. It's the invisible mental and emotional load of trying to be fully present in two roles that both matter deeply. Today, let's talk about why balancing career and motherhood feels so emotionally difficult and why this experience has so little to do with personal failure. One of the biggest emotions mothers carry is guilt. Career guilt says, I should be spending more time with my child. Motherhood guilt says, I should be doing more at work. Notice something interesting. The standard for both roles are almost impossible. At work, you're expected to be productive, available, ambitious, and committed. At home, you're expected to be patient, emotionally available, nurturing, organized, and endlessly present. The result? You constantly feel like you're falling short somewhere, even on days when you have actually done enough. This happens because guilt isn't always based on reality. It's often based on expectations, many of which were never consciously chosen. Another major shift happens in identity. Before becoming a mother, many women define themselves through multiple identities: a professional, a partner, a friend, someone with hobbies and personal goals. Motherhood doesn't erase these identities, but it changes their hierarchy. Suddenly, one role begins demanding more emotional energy than all the others combined. And sometimes women quietly begin asking themselves, who am I outside of being someone's mother? Or am I allowed to still have ambitions? This identity shift can be surprisingly emotional, not because mothers love their children any less, but because they are trying to integrate two equally meaningful parts of themselves. The challenge isn't choosing one identity over other. It's learning that both identities can coexist. Let's also talk about invisible pressures mother experience. Much of it comes from society. We have normalized praising mothers who do it all. The woman who works full time, manages the house, remember birthdays, attends school meetings, and somehow still smiles through it all. But here's what we rarely ask: at what cost? Behind that image is often chronic exhaustion, decision fatigue, mental overload, and very little space for rest without guilt. That brings us to something psychologists call the mental load. The mental load isn't just about doing tasks, it's about constantly remembering them. Doctor's appointments, school forms, groceries, vaccination schedules, meal planning, work deadlines, family events, everyone's emotional needs. It's like having dozens of browser tabs open in your mind all day, even when you're sitting still. This constant cognitive effort is mentally exhausting, even if it isn't always visible. And because it's invisible, it often goes unnoticed by others. Many mothers also experience what called role conflict. This happens when the expectations of one role interfere with the other. Imagine your child has fallen sick on the same day as an important presentation, and no matter which choice you make, you may end up feeling guilty. If you stay at home, you worry about work. If you go to work, you worry about your child. It's not because you're making the wrong decision, it's because both roles genuinely matter to you. And sometimes there simply isn't a perfect answer. Perhaps one of the biggest misconceptions is that balance means giving everything equal attention every day. It doesn't. Balance isn't a perfectly divided pie chart. Some days your work may need more of you, some days your family will, and some days you simply need to rest. Balance is less about equal distribution and more about intentional adjustment. If you are someone trying to balance career and motherhood, remember this. You're not just carrying just two roles. You are carrying expectations, invisible responsibility, emotional labor, and constant decision making. So instead of asking yourself, am I doing enough? Maybe ask, am I showing myself the same compassion I so easily offer everyone else? Because balance isn't about becoming superhuman, it's about creating a life where you don't have to constantly prove your worth through exhaustion. If this conversation resonated with you, share with someone who might need to hear that